Hey everyone, welcome back to the Cheap channel, the channel dedicated to all things cheap in the world of fragrances. And today's video is hopefully going to be very short. I am just reviewing two fragrances that I found at Walmart, both of them from Belcam Parfums, which you know in recent videos I've talked about Belcam Parfums before, some things that they clone. They clone things that are niche, things that are designer, just all over the place. But the unique thing about them is that I've only been able to find their products in store at Walmart, so not Target, not CVS, Walgreens, any other retailer grocery store that is brick and mortar. As far as online, I've only been able to find their products either at Amazon or at their dedicated store on their website. I haven't been able to find them at Fragrance Buy or Fragrance Net or any other fragrance website. So it's very unique how they choose to sell and where. But the one place you can always find their stuff at, and depending on where you go, you find a different variety, is at Walmart, which is exactly where I got one of these, and the other one I've seen before but picked it up online. And both of these are imitating two fragrances from the same house, and you'll see in the title of the video what house that is. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into it and show you that if you're at Walmart or if you're going through online, what you'll be looking for if you wanna get these two here. So the first one I'm gonna look at is this one. So it is CM or Classic Match, which we've talked about before. Classic Match is their kind of brand on their cologne. So Classic Match as in they are matching classic, well-known fragrances. They are cloning them. And a lot of their stuff isn't exact clones. Some of them are a little twists. Some of them make it actually better to wear. Some of them not as good. One thing that's unique about them is that apparently these are all made in the US, so they're not outsourced. They are all made in the US by local perfumers, whoever they may be. And whoever it is actually pretty good at imitating it, and we'll get into that a little later. But you see Classic Match, and this one is a black and blue box. It says Classic Match, our version of, and it'll say what the version is and what they're cloning on here. So the two we are looking at are two clones that are imitating fragrances from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. And the one I have here is actually their version of Y by Yves Saint Laurent. I imagine it is the Y EDT because they tend to go back to just the base fragrances. So the EDT is the first release of Y from Yves Saint Laurent, so that's the one that they are having here. And here is the box. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the bottle, which is here. It is a very cheap looking bottle. It has a bluish coloration to it with a black top on it, and you can see on the front it says Classic Match CM. Nothing else that really gives it away that this is a Y clone. It just looks like a standard cheap perfume bottle. And you can also notice that the atomizer does not have a collar on it, which isn't a big deal. If anything, it probably is a reason for them to be able to sell it to you for cheaper because they're not paying for that collar. And hey, I enjoy things like Jacquard Noir, and it doesn't have a collar on it, so this is fine by me. It doesn't hinder the fragrance in any way. And of course, there are no note breakdowns. This isn't on Fragrantica or on base notes, and there's really nothing you can find on their website. So what you do have is some kind of description on the back of the box that kind of gives them the notes that you're trying to replicate that match the original fragrance. So let's go ahead and read what they have on the box. Classic Match CM, our version of Y by Yves Saint Laurent, is a refined woody citrus scent. White grapefruit and iced ginger blend with sparkling ozone notes followed by hints of lavender and fresh geranium and a base of warm sandalwood and crystalline amber. So the note description on this is pretty much the same as Y EDT, and how this comes across is a very aldehydic, grapefruit, sparkling. It's very bright, very airy. It's sweet as well. You do get a little bit of that ambery sweetness in there, but a lot of aquatic, ozonic nature to it. And not as much woodiness as it says. It says it's a woody citrus scent, but I don't get that much woodiness even on my skin. It probably is in there somewhere. If you spray enough on, you might can smell it, but you really just get that very, very well appealing citrus scent. This does not at all smell cheap. I think I picked this up at Walmart for a rollback of like $8 or $9, which is crazy for how close this gets to the EDT of Y. It is very well appealing. If you wear this, no one's gonna think any different that it is a cheap clone, especially at that price. It smells exactly like the real thing. Now, obviously you don't have that depth and richness and the naturals like you do in YEDT, but still for the price you get this at and for the company reputation of it being something so cheap, people think I ain't gonna spray that on me. I'm not spraying something so cheap and carcinogenic on me. It's like chemical goo, but this actually smells very natural. It comes across very well appealing. It is very well blended as well. It is just a dead ringer for the YEDT, and how they're able to do that with such cheap costs is beyond me. This is really, really nice, and I've been able to see this a lot more at Walmart recently. So if you go to Walmart now, you more than likely will be able to find the box logos like this. Just look for the black front that says CMY and the blue on the edges of the box, and it's just very, very nice. And some Walmarts actually have it out of the display case where you can actually take it out and smell it. If they do smell it, make sure you like it. But if you like YEDT or EDP, you will love how this smells. The only thing is they do have a twist on it a little bit. To me, with how the aldehydes are in this, it kind of smells a little feminine leaning as well. So I think it's a very unisex scent. I've actually been able to let my wife wear this and it smells great on her. And I've been able to actually wear it recently after letting it macerate for a bit, and it smells even better after you leave it for a little while and then let it mature for a good bit. It smells even better on me than it did the first time that I sprayed it. So this is the way that they make it come across and the way they twisted it. And I think it's a good unisex scent, but you definitely get that YEDT scent profile across. You definitely get that DNA and that kind of airiness that they have in that house. But really, really good Y clone right here. I was very surprised with it. Now, as far as performance, this actually does very, very well on my skin. It's a very loud performer, and that's because of all the musks and that citrus and aldehyde in it. But as far as longevity, it is a citrusy based scent, and plus this is cheaper, so you're not gonna get a lot of longevity on it. You may can double spray and get a little more as well as the projection, but it's gonna be a little under average on longevity, but projection is very loud. Then again, the YEDT and EDP is also a loud projector, so it matches with how this one comes across as well. But still, very good performance considering the price that I picked this up at, and the overall scent profile of it is very surprising as well. But I highly recommend that you try out this one. Now going on to the second and last one. This one I actually bought online, but I originally saw it at Walmart. Missed my chance with getting it. When I came back later, it was already gone and out of stock. So I went on later and bought it online at Amazon for roughly the same price that I saw it at Walmart. And it is this one here. It is a CM Classic Match, their version of L'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent. So L'Homme is one that you actually don't hear a whole lot about from Yves Saint Laurent. It is the first one of the flankers before La Nuit de l'Homme, and it did come out in the mid-2000s, so this kind of does have that mid-2000s smell. But I gotta say, it is really, really nice. And let me show you the presentation on it. So you have a very tall, cylindrical looking bottle, nothing really a whole lot on it. It just says Classic Match Homme, which is very different. And actually the top on it, as you can see, is a collared top, which is very different. I will say when I got this, the collar actually prevented the atomizers from going all the way down, and it sprayed on the inside of the collar and made it leak underneath. So I decided to just take the collar off as a whole, and it pops off very easily, which does show the cheapness of it. It's not glued down or anything, but it kind of works in my favor because it doesn't spray on the inside of the collar. But it is nice that they decided to make a higher end of their fragrance lines and try to make the presentation look a little more appealing. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the note breakdown, which is on the side of the box, and tell you kind of how this smells. Classic Match Homme, our version of L'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent, is a fresh, woody scent, modern yet masculine with hints of bergamot, warm spices, vetiver, and musk. So we actually don't get a whole lot of notes on that one, not like we did with the first one that explained the Y clone. But this one, if you smell it and you know L'Homme, you will immediately get it. This is a very, very good clone of L'Homme, especially in that opening. It captures that very bright, spicy, slightly sweet and musky opening. This is a dead ringer, just like the first one. This is very, very, very close to the original. Of course, you are not getting the depth and the richness like you would with the original because the higher quality ingredients and a better perfumer and a better blend, but still the fact that you can get a roundabout of that kind of scent DNA with this in the price of almost $10 is just insane. It is a very masculine scent too. It is very musky, and you do get that mid-2000s kind of style to it, but it's matching the original, which came out at that time. This is perfect for the spring and the fall time, maybe on the cooler summer nights, but I think it's way too light for the winter time. The original you might could wear in the winter time because it's a little deeper, but with this one being a little lighter, fresher, I think winter would be too harsh on it, but this is perfect for the spring and the fall time, just that cool kind of weather, and good for, again, formal, casual occasions. It still really gets that all-around scent profile. Very, very accurate. Very surprising with this one. I really, really like this. So here you have them, 2 clones from Belcam Parfums that are imitating 2 fragrances from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. In this one, you have the clone of YEDT, a very bright, brisk, citrusy, ozonic fragrance. This is perfect for the spring and the summertime. And in this one, you have a throwback to L'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent. The very first one before L'Homme de L'Homme and all those flankers. It's a very woody, musky, very fresh, spicy, ambery fragrance. Very masculine as well. These are both very, very good, especially for the price that you could pick these up at, both either at Walmart or at Amazon. And I actually recommend getting it from Amazon if you're gonna do it online rather than their original store. But some things you can't find on Amazon, so you would have to go on their original store to look for those things. But these are very readily available, and if you can go to Walmart and find these, I highly recommend that you get them, especially if they are on roll bag. These are good, quick cheapies that you could pick up, give to a gift for somebody, or put in a bag if you're traveling or going to the gym, or just something you want to keep with you that's not too expensive, because these things are very, very good quality for that price. And if you have tried these already, or if you own these, let me know in the comments what you think about them. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on these, or even the Belcam Parfums line in general. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and commenting. Let me know what you liked about it, or what you think I could do different, or some things you want me to look at in the future. And if you're not subscribed, I ask that you please subscribe, because there's a lot of things I'm slowly getting in and processing and arranging and organizing, and I can't wait to show you and maybe hopefully help you discover something new in the future. And I know the video is short, but I just want to showcase these to you and let you know that I think you should be on the lookout for these, and I highly recommend picking these up if you ever have the chance. But as usual, that's all I got for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next one. Be blessed.